Hey guys, David Patrick Green, hackhollywood.com, hackbollywood.com, and hackbollywood.in. Please, guys, I implore you, like, share, subscribe, and click the bell for notifications. Comments, questions, and suggestions, put them in the comment section below, or send me an email to david@hackhollywood.com. Going big on the blur today. I think it's called the Big Circle. It's supposed to give you bokeh. We'll see what it does to my poor face. Anyway, this is a sweet little short list of the 3 best pieces of acting advice, or the 3 best acting tips that I ever got. And I studied acting for probably a total of 5 years. Getting a little breezy and chilly here. And I studied at Meisner School for 2 years. I did at least 2-3 years of improv. I did a lot of cold reading classes, and I also studied a type of class that I can't even describe to you, but I'm not going to get into names. I'm just going to tell you the 3 best pieces, okay? So from my acting teacher in San Diego, who was kind of a guru, really into, being in the moment and all that. This is the first advice I ever got as an actor, and that was, don't do anything. And I was like, what does that even mean, man? Like, you're freaking me out. I'm tripping back to Woodstock, dude. And a lot of things that I was told years ago, I never understood, or I misunderstood them. And now they all make sense because I'm like letting go of stuff. And then when you let go, it's when you stop trying to understand, or when you stop trying to do something, it all becomes really obvious and apparent. So he said, don't do anything. I'm like, this is like my first acting lesson. Don't do anything? What does that even mean? And well, what it really just means is don't do anything you don't feel compelled to do, okay? Like, what is happening dictates how you behave, not some preconceived notion or idea that you're pulling off the paper. All right, so amazing advice, works great. If you just don't do anything you don't feel compelled to do, like it's that your gut is telling you to do, you will always look natural. You might not always be the right person for the part, but you will always look great, like, oh, I believe everything they're saying. And you'll probably book a lot of roles, especially if you go out for the ones that you are right for. So, acting tip number 2, and you may guess where this one came from. I'll tell you, it came from the Meisner School of Thought, and that is repeat. Okay, in fact, I think it's the first exercise you do in Meisner training is repeating. And all that is somebody says something to you and you just repeat it back to them, but from your own perspective. So, I like your glasses. That's what somebody says to you. You say back, you like my glasses, or however you feel it. So again, it's about being in the moment. It's about letting yourself come to the conclusion of what you feel about that before blurting words out, right? Like, so if somebody says something really simple to you, like, you have green eyes, and I say, I have green eyes, I don't know, I might think, well, that's obvious, you're looking at them, or I might have forgotten. So I'm like, I have green eyes? Oh, yeah, I have green eyes. So it creates a thought process. And so you don't speak until you understand what that does to you. Okay, so that's number 2. And then the third one is from the improv schools of thought. And I have gone to 2 amazing improv schools. I went to Second City and I went to the Groundlings, both in Los Angeles. And the thing I learned from them is yes and. Okay, so yes and is, rather than trying to negate things, like when somebody says do this or do that, and you're like, well, I have a different idea of what's going on in this improv, then you try to build something. You're always trying to build something. Okay, that's what yes and is. It's like you're a couple of bricklayers, and when somebody says, here's a brick, you don't go, I'm on my break, I don't want to put a brick on the wall right now. Rather than saying, I don't want the brick, you go, great, okay, I'll put it here. So it's like, yes, I'll take the brick and I will put it here. Okay, but this is in acting. It basically says, you know, they're stirring the soup pot and they just say, pass the pepper. So rather than go, I don't have the pepper, you go, yes, and, right? Like, so it's, yes, I will take your idea, the pepper. Okay, here's the pepper, and I will add to it. Okay, so that's how it's a building exercise. It's, yes, I will take your suggestion and run with it, and I will add to it. So it's shared responsibility. And you know, this is something then in the acting world you may come across where people don't want to share the responsibility when the camera is on them. And I've come across, you know, a few celebrities who are like this. When the camera's on them, they are on. But when the camera is on you and it's not on them, they will mumble their words, they will give you a bunch of improv, and you're not quite sure when they're done. So if you just yes and you repeat inside your head before you speak, and you don't speak until you're darn sure why you're speaking, like you don't speak until you feel compelled to. So if you have to think it over, like, I don't know what that means, or I don't know how I feel about that, then you wait, right? You don't talk, or if you talk while you are trying to come to it. Like if somebody says, I like your eyes, and your mind is blown and, you know, you're like, I don't have eyes, you know, you'd be like, you like my eyes. Like that's the kind of thing you could do. So you either wait it out, but you do not talk until you feel compelled to. All right, and this is huge, okay? This is huge. If you can stick to those 3 simple rules of acting, which aren't rules, because of course there's no rules. The rule is be yourself. Just bring all of yourself. But if you can stick, those 3 basic concepts will get you so far. And I tell you, once you start going beyond that, things can get really complicated with some of the exercises they'll have you do. But hey, to keep you around for years and years and years, they got to complicate things, right? And then you go to another school to try and undo what that school did, and so on and so forth. But anyway, my point is really try and keep your acting simple, basic concepts. Try and think of real life, right? In real life, you don't get a chance to think of what you're going to do or say ahead of time. Life just sort of comes at you, right? Like you can try to imagine. This is what people do when they're trying to when they have a job interview, right? They're like, I wonder what they're going to say. Okay, if they ask me this, I'm going to say this. If they ask me that, I'm going to say that. They try and pre-plan the whole thing, and it comes out really fake, phony, artificial. Whereas the person who's like, hey, I know what I can do, and there's lots of things I can't do. I'm not really worried about them. I'm not going to tell them I can do stuff I can't. I'm just going to tell them what I can do. And I have questions of my own. I'll ask my questions. And, you know, if I think I'm a really good fit for the job, I'm going to go in confidently. And, you know, I'm going to probably represent myself well. And if they think somebody else is a better fit, so be it. But at least they got to see the real me, okay? And that's really the only thing that matters. It's the only thing you should be focused on. So anyway, those 3 simple concepts, hopefully they'll help you deliver on, you know, being yourself on camera. All right, guys, that's it for now. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, as always, leave them in the comments section below. And stay safe out there, guys. It's crazy times, and you know, this is as far as I see it, this is a huge opportunity for actors to develop their skills, work on relationships, just do all the things that you think you should be doing when it's normal time. The best time to do it is when it's not normal time, okay? It's like pilot season. The best time to approach people and go gung-ho is when everybody else isn't, okay? So think of this as your anti-pilot season, right? Everybody else is running to pilot season and they're running away from coronavirus. Well, I suggest you run to coronavirus and run away from pilot season, because there's way more actors going out for the roles than there are roles during pilot season. And right now, no, there aren't really any roles, but yes, there are, because people are still writing. They're still building up the database of episodes and movies and what have you. So they're still writing. There are roles. They're just not being advertised. So this is a great time to approach people and let them know what a conscientious person, what a thoughtful actor you are. Find a way to help these people, and you will have a friend and a colleague for life. That's it, guys. 3 acting tips, 3 best acting tips I ever received, and I will talk to you soon.